Welcome to the back of the ute. In the back of the ute is a project and a bag of lemons. You can see those, got those off a mate. This might be the least amount of bike I've ever got when I bought a project. I've bought a few weird things in my time. Not that this bike is weird, just that there's two very, very big bits missing. Anyway, it's a 1927 BSA 250 Deluxe. So it's like the round tank, except it's got a wedge tank. And some people just call them a wedge tank. I'm going to bring it in and we'll have a look at it in the ute, as we have in the past. And you can see just what I got and how I laid it in and the stuff on the back seat. And then we'll go into the shed. We'll have a look at the rest of it. You'll notice what's missing. Rightio, here it is. Bag of lemons and all. So there's a bit of a box here. I'll hoik the box out. And there's a barrel and carby and some bits and pieces. There's a frame with the gearbox and the bottom end of an engine. We got a rear guard and some other bits and pieces. Odd looking magneto that's actually industrial, not the magneto from the bike. Told it does spark and it did run the bike. Nonetheless, that's what we've got. Now it fitted across the ute. The rear guard's got a little twist in it. You'll see there's a bit of a tank up there, meaning a bit of a tank, not a whole tank. Bit more stuff. And then on the back seat. Let's have a look at the back seat of me poor ute. All right, here's the back seat. There's a very moth-eaten front guard and it's in pretty poor condition. You can see a tank in primer on the other side. It's in good condition. Another bit of an engine, some flywheels, because there's two engines. Down this side you can see an original tank that's been let out into a pattern. Not sure what I'd do with that. A seat, a dynamo or a mag dyno, some footrests, another barrel, another piston. Then I've got a shopping bag full of parts and a few bits and pieces. Let's get it all inside and have another look. Don't you just love unpacking after you've come home from getting stuff? Even better when it's in homebrew kit cans. I love it. Anyway, I popped it in a shopping bag and I'm going to get into this and see what I've got. Because when I go and look at a project, I really don't look at every mortal thing. I look at the chunk and think, yeah, that looks about right. All be good. And then I hope for the best. Bit exciting. I'll bring you in. Let's do a bit of an unpack. Doesn't look particularly promising, but anyway, it'll all be good. 3 homebrew cans and a couple of things thrown in the bottom of a box. So I got a new tub to put everything in so I can spread it out and see it, and we'll go from there. So you get the obligatory tobacco tin, I suppose it is. I'm not sure what it is, or the brand. Tell you what, give it a hit while we're talking and see if I can, it'll be Havelock or something like that. No, Golden Virginia, I think, because that's meant to make you feel good about smoking. Which is actually a nice can underneath. I might clean that up and put it on the shelf. You know what I'm like. Few things in the bottom of this plastic tub. Now, already know that that's a tank mount, and because I watched the guy take it off, and that's okay. Here's an oil cap, which is good. I don't think the petrol cap is present. This one's got all the nickel beaten off it, but you know, it's okay. Oh, broken clip at the back, but we could probably fix that anyway, so that's a good result. Looks like a filler neck, because we've got the best part of 3 tanks, so that'll be a filler neck either for fuel oil. Let's check. That'll be an oil filler neck. Nice to have. An odd badge looking thing, don't know. A lock washer that's had the life beaten out of it. Used to be a clamp, Don't know. And two weird things. Don't know. Let's go with the promising can first. Can is empty. Looks like it's been a bulb horn at some stage. Don't know. Maybe something else, or a filler, or anyway, maybe people recognise it. Ooh, piston ring. No rings in the motor, so that's handy. There's another one. Who knows whether they fit or not, but it'd be a good point. They're different sizes, different thicknesses. Be a good point to measure from. Love stuff that's wired together. So we got valve springs by the look of them, and keepers. Or, yeah, that's what I call them. We've got a spark plug adapter that's had the holy living snot beaten out of it. That's a better word than other words, but it's okay. There's another one. I suppose they're better than not having any. Ooh, I do like a lever. And it's the left-hand side. Oh, yeah. Nice. Short throw. Wonder what that's about. Could be a composite lever. Does say ammo on the top. Or AMAC maybe. Hard to say. Had a little bit beaten up. But nice. Left-hand side. Looks like 7/8. Doesn't look too bad. That's nice. Assorted studs. Or actually, that's assorted bolts. That'd be better. That's actually a lifter. A valve lifter with the nut on the end. Nice. A bearing, good for measuring, and that'll be all because it's had the life beaten out of it. Also has a little groove cut in it. Anybody know what that's for? A bolt-on plate. Possibly a clutch nut or a cush drive nut. Possibly. Something that's had the edges ground off, but I think I recognise that. I actually think it's off a gearbox adjuster. I think it goes into the engine mount because I was talking to a bloke, and we'll see about that more. I'll put that aside. I think that's what it is. Axle spacer, nuts, oil tube adapter, nuts, bolts, shouldered washer, oh, woodruff key, few bits and pieces, with a little pin. Let's put all that in the tub. Not super exciting. Now, that's actually a tank mount bolt. Going to put that aside too, because that's what it is. Again, I met a bloke who knew some of these things recently, and he showed me what a few things were, and it was really good to talk to him. Sometimes, I wouldn't say he was older, but a bit older. People know things, and they'll tell you. So that's another valve lifter with the nut. It's got BSA on it, so that's pretty cool. Clevis, always handy. Bushing of some description with a shim by the look of it. Sump plug, broken piston ring, another sump looking plug, few bits and pieces, another tank mounting bolt, which is super, another tank mounting bolt, and I'm not seeing anything else super exciting. Bit of a ball bearing. Do like a clevis though, especially original ones. They're nice. Saves you making them. Let's throw all that in the tub too. All right, can number 2 is okay. Ooh, can number 3. It's in can number 3. Have a look at that. I'm a bit excited about that. That is the elusive oil feed tap that sits in behind the oil sight feed bowl off these 26, 7, 8 BSAs. Now, they're buggers of things to find. I struggled really hard with my 527 to find one. So that's actually really super. Really like that. Oh, more oil sight feed bowl parts. Now, I'm excited about these because I know how hard they were to find with my 27. They were buggers of things. So I immediately recognised those parts. That's the drip feed. Super part to have. Still got the needle on the top. That's the spring out of the oil pump as well. There's the worm gear out of the side of the timing chain case. They're all going in a tub together. That's super. That's a valve guide with a couple of caps on top. That's super too. That's out of the oil pump sight feed as well, and actually goes like that, I think. That's good to have as well, and that screws into there like that. That's super. That's a big relief to see those parts. They're buggers of things to find. I'm guessing that is the gearbox adjuster, and that little part that I put aside before clips over there like that. How cool's that? That's really good. Like, they're obscure little parts that get lost when bikes are in a million pieces. I'm excited. This is a good beer tub. Studs, lightweight though, like 5/16 and that little one, and there's a quarter. I don't know. Maybe engine, gearbox. Heap of them though. So they were important for something. So what have we got? I have 7 of the little 1/4-inch ones and 4 different sizes of the 5/16-ish. I don't know what they're for, but that'll turn up. That'll work itself out. That's super. I'm going to put those in the tub. A weird little plug that looks quite specific. Don't really know what it's for. Looks like a sump plug, I suppose. Let's put that in the tub. Again, it looks like a sump plug. Not sure what it is. Valve lifter. External valve lifter. Weirdly, the handles are always missing. I just don't get where the handles always go, but they're always missing. Doesn't matter how many old beezers I've bought, I've never found a handle. So frustrating. Nice to have though. Let's put those in the tub. Oh, another gearbox adjuster. Gee, super. Excited. This holds the primary chain case on. That screws into the engine and the case screws on through 2 holes there. That's super. Now, I only recognise that because I bought one recently. That screws into the front fork and is the adjuster for the front brake rod or front brake cable. That's actually what that is. Wow. And if I'm lucky, the rest of it is in here too, because there's a piece that screws into the top and the bottom, but I consider that to be a great find and a great piece. Some little screw-in plugs, a nut that looks important. Weirdly, these oil feed parts are actually hard to find. They always get separated off from the engines, and just like this, and they end up in somebody's scrap tub. So they're really good. A cable holder, heavy spring washer, another woodruff, short stud with a point on the end, a bolt with flats milled on it that looks important, and some assorted cheese head screws that probably go into the engine case somewhere. Then there's just Excuse all the noise of the birds in the background. So beer cans have given way to a cut open oil container, which is nice, and an ice cream container. So let's hope we have a good result like we have. I'm already a bit keen, so let's get into it. Put that one aside. Cush drive off the front of the motor that looks complete-ish. It's got the nut, it's got the spring, and the cush, and the sprocket, and the piece that goes on to the crank. Somebody's gone to a lot of trouble, hats off to them, and put a couple of cable ties through it. That's a good piece to have. It's all in one piece, and that's a good result. Into the tub. What we got in here? I have no idea. Small clips. Wow, wonder what they're from. Now there's 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 10, there's 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There's 22 little clips and some nuts and bolts. Now this looks like it's off the seat, and the rest of this tub appears to hold what's actually seat springs. So I'm guessing somebody disassembled an original seat at some stage. There's the side piece of it, and put everything together. I'm going to leave all of that together and leave all that in the tin rather than putting it in the tub. Let's have a look and see what brand tobacco we've got. Oh, the Golden Virginia again. Perfect. Probably put the lid on. And it's got somebody's name scratched into the top. And I'll see if I can read that later. But that's pretty cool. Like that. Seat hardware is generally difficult to come by. You can replace seats, but you know, if we've got original parts, might be better. Tub number 2. This is a big end. And it's not in a bag that I recognise, so somebody's just popped it in a bag. Big end, lock washers, nuts and bearings. Woodruff key in there. It does look used, so, you know, unlikely to be any good, but somebody's gone to the trouble of putting it in a bag, and we're going to leave it there and see what it's like later when we get into the motor. This does look like a motor bag. That looks like a portion of a frame that somebody's hacked off. Not sure why. No idea. Oil feed fitting. Lever that's been disassembled and dinted, but nonetheless, nice quality. Doesn't look like it's been a repop. Looks like it's been an original thing. Ooh, carburetor parts. Okay. A little bit moth-eaten, but they appear to go together. And we'd hope the bottom nut is sitting somewhere. There's a float. Doesn't look great. We're guessing that screws on there is a bell mouth of some description. Yeah, it does. That's cool. What else is in here in carburetor chunks? We're guessing that goes over there. And it does. And then there's an assortment. Oh, that's a funny little piece. Wonder if that's a jet. I don't know what that is. But there's little holes in the bottom of it. I don't know. Haven't seen that before. Somebody might yell at me. Tell me what it is. There's a carby needle. Or a float needle, maybe. Couldn't be, surely. Does fit through there. But it's from the carburetor. So that's kind of cool. Float. Little brass nut fitting for something. Don't know. No holes in that. Just a little nut fitting. Some description. copper maybe, hard to say. Float bowl, couple of valves, certainly used. Bit shabby, but not too bad. Top of a jam jar, maybe, don't know. Ooh, free spark plug. Old spark plug, it's a Firestone and it's an MH60. It's actually complete, so I'll keep that because I'm that kind of guy. Another Clevers, that's cool. Carby jets, that's cool. That appears to screw into there. I like that. Hope you can see all this. That appears to go onto there. And then, I wonder if that goes in there. Now, I'm on a wing and a prayer here. I'm just guessing. I am literally just putting parts together out of an ice cream tub while I look at them. I don't have a science about this. But you know what? That kind of looks rightish. And I guess that if I wire brush that fitting, that nut might screw on there properly. Might not too. Ooh. Needle. Like a carb needle. That's kind of cool. Somebody's put carburetor parts in here. It's a pity they're not... I don't know what they are. And we all recognise this as a gudgeon pin with the brass ends. Brass ends slide up and down the barrel so that you don't gore it out. So, gudgeon pin, it is well worn. Monster adjuster. It's an adjuster of some description with a ball on the end of it. So I'm guessing that's important-ish. That's a jet. And then that's a cable end. Then there's assorted ball bearings. I'll probably need to get all of this out. And of course in the container we have leaves, we have dirt, assorted washers, and Lord knows why. So I'm going to separate off, just hang on while I put that aside. Going to separate off a few things I think look important and look like carburetor pieces. And I'm thinking, you know, all of that looks important to me and looks like it could come from, and those two things, it looks like it could come from the one place. What is it? I have no idea. How does it work? I have less idea. There's no top for the carby, which is a bit of a shame, or there doesn't appear to be at this stage. Let's hope it's in another box. But, you know, all of that stuff looks good to me, and I get really excited to see, I don't know, 7/8 of a carburetor. Now, it all needs a really, really solid clean. But we're talking about 27. I'd really struggle to find all that stuff in one place. Well, that's not important, I don't think. And I'd pay pretty good money for it, I suppose, if I went looking for it. So I consider that to be a result. I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to make a tub out of that, where I can immerse it in some degreaser, and I can start trying to clean it up. Let's get all of that into the main tub. Rightio, I'll go and find more, because I think there's another bag we can have a look at, and we'll have a look at that too. I think we might call a break to the video there. I've actually got about 50 minutes of edited footage, and so I decided to break it into two 25-minute chunks. Nobody really watches full-length videos much. So there's the first part of the unpack. You saw the bike in the back of the ute, and now you've seen pretty much all the parts. And then we'll come back in the episode after this and have a look at the meat and potatoes, the main dish, the frame, the tank, and other bits and pieces. I hope you've enjoyed it. Come along for the ride. Please think about subscribing. It actually makes a difference to me. I feel good inside when you do. Have a good one. Cheers.